Hello everyone, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life, and we harvested a whole heap of okra, tomatoes, bell pepper, and we're gonna make something out of it because I don't let anything go to waste. So we're gonna cook this, and we might not eat it all, but we're gonna have cooked meals ready. So let's get to it. Let's go in. Cook our harvest. Oh, you know I do use some salted codfish, right? That's just my thing. Let's go. All right, so the ingredients so far, and this may change because you know I think of stuff as I go along, is salted codfish. And if you don't have salted codfish, just use any fish, but you're gonna have to add extra salt. Salted codfish is cured fish, okay? Or salted fish, salt fish. Doesn't have to be codfish. Got a huge onion right here. Tomatoes. About 3 cloves of garlic, bell pepper, and if you have Scotch bonnet, use that. If you have habanero, use that, okay? Bell pepper, habanero, or Scotch bonnet. Bell pepper and habanero or Scotch bonnet. Okra, I've been soaking this okra. I have some allspice or pimentos, depending on where you're from. Forgot to get my green onion. Green onion or scallion, depending on where you come from. Black pepper, salt, thyme. This is from the garden also. Coconut milk, and I got a plantain. I like yellow plantain, so I let this ripe, and I'm gonna make some dumplings. So that's gonna be flour and salt and baking powder and water, of course. So let's go ahead and get the main dish done, and then we'll do the dumplings later on because dumplings are not that hard, okay? First things first, we're going to get all our stuff chopped up. So I'm going to bring you down so you can see what I'm doing. So all of the dry stuff you can put to the side because you don't need that right now. So we'll put this all over here. All the dry seasoning we'll put over here. So all we're going to do is we're going to chop up our vegetables, and we're going to chop up our aromatics. All right? So what kind of knife do we want, Jamerica? This one. These have been washed. I'm just gonna chop them up. One by one. They'll let you know if they're woody, because you won't be able to cut through it. That's how you'll know you have woody okra. So far, so good. Motherland okra. I don't discriminate. I just picked that. That's real sharp. One by one. This one's woody. Put it to the side. Can't have it all. Can't win them all. This one is kind of woody. I'm not going to use it. One by one. So, if the cook's happy, the food is good. You know that, right? Happy cook. Happy cook. Some people don't like you making noise in the kitchen because they think that, well, Polynesians, some of them, think that if the cook's mad, you know, they're gonna, that's how they used to make noise before they poisoned the king. I shouldn't say that while I'm cooking. I'm a happy cook. Happy. You gotta make yourself happy. Nobody can do that for you. Just like I've had people, our friends of mine, tell me that they were lonely and they were surrounded by a bunch of people. I was like, that is coming from your heart. You gotta fix that inside. Nobody can fix that for you. Lonely and a million people around them. I never had that feeling. I never remember having that feeling. Maybe when I was a kid, I don't remember. Definitely not as an adult. I enjoy solitude. I don't know about many people, but some people, you know, like excitement and basically chaos. I would prefer peace. I don't need this piece. I prefer peace and solitude to that. That's not exciting to me. It doesn't do anything for me. It actually shortens your life, I think. But everybody's different, right? That's why this world goes round and round the way it does. We all have our thing. All have our thing. That's a lot of okra right there, isn't it? All from the garden. All within the last, 3-4 days. I haven't had these long. Every day I go and get a little bit. So, look at that. That is the okra that we've harvested. Oh, I got 2 more. They were floating around. I didn't see them in that green bowl. So, I like to get the slime off of them. So, we're going to put this into the frying pan. I got a cast iron over there, right here. We're going to put those in. I'm going to heat the pan up. And we'll go ahead and we'll start working on the rest of the stuff. But I want to get this down. I want to dry this out a little bit. Okay, so I'm using my old bowl. The bowl that the okra was in is a trash bowl since it's available, right? No sense in having a mess. Nobody likes a messy cook. That's the rule. I didn't make it. So we have our okra here piled up. And I might as well go ahead and get our tomatoes done while I'm waiting for the pan to heat up. So they're already sticky, huh? Wash these off also, these little cherry tomatoes. I mean, there are people who say that they don't like cherry tomatoes, and I think it's because they don't necessarily like harvesting them because they're more work. I don't know. Tomatoes taste the same to me. I'm not a tomato connoisseur. I'm not a tomato snob. A tomato is a tomato to me. I don't care what it looks like. I don't know. It tastes all the same to me. I haven't had a... Well, yes, I did have one tomato that was a little bit different, the blueberry tomato. That was it. The rest of them was the same. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about with the flavor. But I don't taste it. I just want tomatoes. I don't care what they look like. However, I have a caveat. I do not like harvesting those teaspoon tomatoes. They're too tedious to me. They're just little. The only time I enjoy harvesting those is when I'm going ahead and I'm getting them for my chickens. I'm taking them off the vine and getting them to my chickens because they get so excited. And because they're excited, I get excited. You know, sometimes being around happy things or happy people, there's something on the screen, I don't trust this one. Being around happy things or happy people changes you. It's contagious. Happiness is contagious. Just like the negative side is also contagious. So try to surround yourself with positive people and positive things that make you happy. As long as something's in here, you gotta check your fruit out because sometimes, you know, I don't use pesticides, so I gotta check. Gotta look. There's a little dot in there. I don't think it was anything, but you never know. All right, is my pan hot? It's close. Yeah, so you surround yourself with things that are positive. Things that bring your best self out. Because if you are who you surround yourself with or what you surround yourself with. You become. If you have bunch of bad influences, eventually, even, you know, just being around it, you'll just start being just, you are what your environment does affect you. So, I remember when I was younger, I used to read books just to get away to someplace far away. I didn't like New York a lot. It was too busy. Okay, so we have our tomatoes done and we have our okra done. Our pan is hot. We'll bring you over there and we're gonna put these okra in here and we're gonna go ahead and get these to simmer down a little bit, get a little bit of slime off, and then we'll get the rest of the stuff in. The thing about wood, you can go ahead and just lay it on the board. There we go. Turn this down a little bit. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of salt on it. Just a little bit because the fish has salt on it. About a half a teaspoon right in there. All right, on to the next. I'm saying since, baby, since we've been together, ooh, ooh, loving you forever. All right, that's enough, right? Do we want the big one or do we want the red one? This one is no good, so I'm gonna put that down. You know what? Wait a minute. Do what my mama used to do. Pinch it off. My grandmama. You see a bad spot, she didn't throw her stuff away. She would pinch it off. Inspect it and use it. Let me get this off my hand. Let's see if there's another little one in here. Okay, I got 2 for the price of 1. So this one I'm not going to use. So we're going to take our habanero or Scotch bonnet and we're going to dice it up real fine. What is this? Okra. Yeah, well, we're going to cut this up real small. Take this off. Put it in the trash bowl. And go ahead and mince it up. As small as possible. You do not want this fire in somebody's mouth. They won't appreciate it. Just want a little taste. Now I use Scotch bonnet or habanero, and I use black pepper because they have different flavor profiles. They don't taste the same. So just don't use a lot of either. You do what you think you can bear, because making a dish too hot ruins it. I like heat because I believe it brings out flavor. And intensifies it. It opens up your palate, in my opinion. It opens up your palate and it makes you, it intensify whatever aromatic you put in there. I like it, but not everybody likes it. So if you don't like it hot, some people just throw the whole Scotch bonnet in here. They do not chop it up or they cut it in half. Most people who don't want it hot just put this in there, just so it have a little heat to it. I don't do that. I just try to get it as fine as possible. Okay, that's done. Let's move this around. All right, take this, move it to the side. You have your little piles going on, little cities of vegetables, right? Okay, bell pepper is next. I'm gonna do my onions, and my onions are last. We got bell peppers and we have garlic that we have to put in there. So we're gonna go around this bell pepper and try not to get any seeds. Try. That's all I'm gonna do is try. Because if I get any seeds, I'm not gonna get all upset about it. I'm just gonna move on. Just go move it on, move it along. And although these are very small, they're mighty. The taste of fresh vegetables are more intense than the stuff that you get from the grocery store. That somehow, I guess in shipping, like if you have food that has been around for a while, it's not as healthy as it once was. It loses its nutrients. Same thing with the vegetables. The vegetables don't taste as well as they once did when they were fresh. But, you know, you do what you can. You get them as fresh as you possibly can. I'm not telling anybody not to buy fresh vegetables, because if that's all you can get is the grocery store, is better than buying. Fresh is better, in my opinion. Fresh is better, always going to be better than canned. Always. Unless you can it yourself. Then you know what's in it. But if you buy something from the store that's already prepared, I'm talking about a dish that's already prepared and canned, you really don't know what they put in it. Some ingredients do not have to be added to the label, depending on how much of that product they use. So everything you see on a can is not, everything that is in there is not on the can. And the can is sprayed on the interior so that it can preserve the food. Okay, I'm gonna get these tomatoes in here to make myself some room. So we got our bell peppers and our habanero peppers chopped up. Time for our garlic. I'm just going to use whatever's left on this head of garlic. Trash pile. Neatly move this stuff to the side. Organization is the key. Smash it. That's why I don't fool around with this garlic. Smash it and it takes the shell off. See how easy that shell came off? We ain't got to fight with it and, you know, do all kind of calisthenics. Just smash it and get that shell off. You're going to cut it up anyway. Smash it and the shell just falls off most of the time. Don't make me out of a liar thing. Look at that. You're trying to make me out of a liar. That little bit. One more. We got a little bit one in here. Let's see if I get this one out. Come out, wherever you are, out. All right. Put these all in a pile. This garlic has seen better days, but it's all right. Now, the rule is, if you want to taste something, put it in last. The last thing you put in is the thing you're going to taste most. I didn't make that rule. It's just the way it is. And if you're not sure about an ingredient, go ahead and get a little dish, mix a little bit of it in there, and taste it. Because if you put the wrong thing in there, sometimes when you're experimenting, it can ruin it. It can ruin it for you. Okay. Let's go over here and mix this stuff up. That's breaking down nicely. So we have most of our aromatics chopped up. Time for the big boy. This one. I do not like cutting up onions. I'm going to go ahead and put these in. These two. The habaneros, I'm putting the habanero in, and the bell pepper. Give it a quick mix. Turn our flame down a little bit. I have it on 6. I put it on 3. I don't want anything to burn. So, get our onion. It's a huge onion. I don't know why I got this onion so big. Okay, let's work on this thing. Work on this big mama. Big mama. Trash bowl. Trash bowl. Always have a trash bowl. It's so irritating when you have stuff all over the place. Trash bowl is always important to me. That way I can just go out and throw it out in the garden. I don't have to gather it up again. It's already gathered. Stop making an extra step. All right. There we go, our onion, right? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it my mama's way or my grandmother's way. You take the top off, right? Like that. Hold the onion. Do tic-tac-toes. Not exactly, but you cut a couple of slits across the top. You don't go all the way to the bottom and you leave the bottom piece on there. Turn it the other way, right? You're gonna dice these tomatoes quicker. You're gonna have to fight with them over and over again. It looks like it's an extra step, but it's not. So we're gonna take the garlic and we're gonna move it over, right? Move so y'all can see. We're gonna take our onion, where it's tic-tac-toe, right? Turn it on the side and just go across. Look at that. Basically rough chopped or rough diced, large diced. I don't have to fight with this thing. Especially since I don't like crying because it makes me cry. Okay, I got some of it off. All right. There's a lot of okra in there. I don't think I'm gonna use all the onion. I think this is enough. That was a huge onion. Huge onion. So we're gonna put that to the side, upside down, so I don't have to inhale it or get it in my eyes. I'll put these onions into the pot. Onions go in, turn it around, and so does the garlic. Do not burn your garlic. That's why it's almost last. Don't burn it. Don't do it. Now, the reason why I haven't put the fish in is because I told you all that that is the one, the last thing you put in is going to be the thing you taste the most. So we're going to let that cook a little bit while we break up our fish. Oh, let's add these. This is our thyme that has been dried. Try to get some of it out. There we are. We have about a teaspoon of thyme. That's all you need. Dry thyme is more potent. Black pepper. Woo, it's black pepper. Uh-oh. See why I put it in my hand? There we go. About a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm going to put just a little bit of, you know what? I'm just going to put just, a smidge of more salt. Look at that. That's about a quarter of a teaspoon. Because our fish is salted. If you do not have salted fish, you can put a little bit more, but I wouldn't put it in until the end. And here is our allspice. We're going to take about that much and put it in. That's a teaspoon. About a teaspoon. And we're going to move this around. Get all of those flavors incorporated. Now it's starting to smell like it's a Jamaican dish. Just like that. Just that easy. All right. I need to get my green onion, and we're going to put that in there also. That's the aromatic green onion here, and I'm just going to rub it. Break it up a little bit. Throw it in the pot. Ain't that rustic? I know. Oh, that's time. Don't do what I do. I got cook hands. I had thyme stems in here, see? And I don't want it in there. I was trying to just get the leaves this time. I need to blend that thyme. Okay, let's go to the other side and go ahead and deal with our fish. And then we'll put the coconut sauce on top. All right now, so we have our fish here, our fish. And I was gonna do it on the board. We're gonna do it straight in the pot because I'm gangster like that. Let's go over there. I'm just gonna take my fish out, right? Take my little nail, break it up, rip it apart. At least I think I am. This thing is tough. This fish is tough. It's tough. It's fighting back. It's gonna break up anyway. You ain't gotta break it up big. It's gonna, when it cooks, fish just breaks up naturally. So don't worry about it. We're just trying to get it. I'm just trying to get it somewhat broken down. No particular way. It doesn't matter. I've been soaking. Oh yeah, by the way, you have salt fish. Wash it off. Soak it. Wash it off again. Soak it. Wash it off again. Soak it. This has been soaking for about, I think, 24 hours. I put it in the refrigerator, of course. I didn't leave it out all night. So here we are. I'm just ripping it apart so that it cooks. We're just trying to get the flavor of the fish. It is going to, it's going to take over the flavor profile of this dish in a minute. I'm going to turn this up a little bit and move it around. All right, fish doesn't take long to cook. Then we're going to take our coconut milk, pour that in. I turned it up to about 8. And after about 5-10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm going to taste it to see if it needs salt or any other kind of seasoning. Onto the dumplings. I put some water in a pot. I'm going to put some salt in there. About a half a tablespoon or a tablespoon, depending on how you look at it. So we're going to make some cornmeal dumpling. I have to use my cornmeal. I've been holding on to this thing for a while, and it's time for me to use it. Let me see here. 1/3 of a cup. So we're going to use some flour. 1, 2, 3. You see I'm not using any particular exact measurements. Then I'm going to get some cornmeal. About 1/3. 2/3. And I'm going to add some more flour. 1/3 cornmeal to 3 parts flour. So I got 2 cups of flour and 2/3 cup of cornmeal. 1/3 of whatever you use with flour. Let's close this back up. We're gonna make them fluffy too. That's why I got this baking powder out. Use my hand. Gotta have some salt. That's about a teaspoon of salt. All right, I need a spoon for this one though. Can't use my hand for that. Nope, can't use my hand for that. Take my teaspoon. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. If you use too much of this, you're gonna taste it. Baking powder. Okay, 1.5 teaspoons. Now let's clean up. I'm gonna put all this stuff in. I'll bring you right back. We're gonna mix this. Well, I can mix it up right now. Just combine it. Turn this down. This is done. Let's take a, well, I'm gonna leave it down. We're gonna taste test that in a minute, okay? Mix this up. Now I could have did this, but I do not like soggy dumplings, because if they sit in the water, they get real dense. I don't like it. So just a second, I'm gonna put all this stuff up because it's around me and it's annoying me, and then we'll go over the taste test and we'll put some water in this and get this show on the road, okay? Okay, I have 3 spoons here. Take this out. Mix it up. This is the consistency of rundown. It's not the prettiest, but it's delicious. Trust me. Okay. Glaze your spoon. Never double dip. No salt. Just a touch of love. A little bit. Just a touch of love. Just a touch of your love. Mix it up. Okay, this is the spoon that we use. Put that to the side. Don't use it again. All right, glaze your spoon. That's how cooks don't get big and juicy and, you know, voluptuous. One more time. I think that's it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Glaze your spoon. Do not, unless you want to get full before dinner, do it this way. Perfect. Turn it off. I'm gonna cover it. We're gonna go on to our dumplings. All right, so let's mix this stuff up. Get it all incorporated. I'm gonna also boil this down. And I have a taro root over there that I haven't used, so that and some cassava. That's how Jamaicans cook. They put their dumpling, they put the banana, they put the cassava, they put their taro, all in the same pot and boil it. They spoon it out and dish whatever you want over, that stuff over whatever you want. So you pick out what you want and, well, or they pick it. Normally you don't get to pick, especially if you're a kid. They dish out your plate. You better not say nothing either. Let me wash my hands off. What they call it? She being feisty. She being feisty. Oh, Lord, you don't want to hear that. Because the next thing they backhand you. They say that and then they get you. Let me get some water. No particular measurement. There is no particular measurement for the water. Don't put a lot in there though. We don't want a pancake mixture. We want it hard dough mixture. We didn't scale this, so there's no particular way to do this. Okay? If you scale it, I guess it would be different, but we didn't scale it. Scale it means you weighed it. A lot of bakers do that when they're baking cakes because they want their cakes to be consistent. They don't want one customer to get a cake and it tastes like this and then the other one get it. They want it to look the same every time. That's how you get the same thing every time. It's by weighing it. Me or Jamaicans, they don't do that much. Well, I don't know about the pastry chefs for Jamaicans, but for the most part, they eyeball a lot of stuff. And guess what? It is so good. And it's consistent most of the time. If they make a dish, they can make that dish 100 times. It'll taste exactly the same. No measurements. That's how you know somebody's a very experienced cook. Because they're consistent and they don't need the measurements anymore. Just eyeball. I guess I got like that, huh? Yep, it took a long time though. A lot of mistakes happened along the way. A lot of bad dishes that we had to eat because we couldn't afford to throw it away. And I'm talking about when I was a kid, when I was learning to cook in my house. My brothers, you could tell that it wasn't that good by their face. It was good, they wouldn't talk at all. If it was not good, they go around it, taste it, and then they go around it. They wouldn't say nothing, but they would go around it and pick. And I was like, you don't like it? Oh, no, it's good. Lie. It wasn't good. They just didn't want me to get mad at them most of the time. I ain't cooking no more. All right, I'm taking my hand, picking all this dry stuff up. Pick it all up. Because we're going to make some spindles. Some people make cartwheel dumplings. Other people make spindles. Some people just throw a big old pile in there and call it a day. That's me. Spindles when you take it off and you make it like this. That's a spindle. I don't like the way spindles look. I'm gonna do the cartwheel. I like the cart. Oh, that's how my grandma did the wagon wheel, the cartwheel. The reason why we call it cartwheel is because you take it off, right? You roll it in a ball and you flatten it, and then you just like a hamburger, because you want to cook the inside of the hamburger. You pinch on the inside so that it cooks all the way. That's a cartwheel right there. My grandma would be like, "Why are you talking like that?" I could hear her in my mind. I've been down south so long that I picked up some of the dialect, or the military. In the military, they couldn't tell where it came from because we lose our accent. We move around so much and deal with so many different people that we get exposed to a little bit of everything. Little bit of everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how people overcome biases and racism and all stuff. You can't be like that after a while. Unless you're just crazy. Well, I shouldn't say that. But it's very hard to stay that way. Because you just realize that everybody is human. We just have different ways. We're raised differently in different climates and different countries. But basically, there's only two type of people. People who have decided to be bad and people who have decided to be mostly good. And nobody is 100% of everything. What do they say? Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Everybody got a story, but we're all human. All right, so I got the dough done, right? Just waiting for it to boil. It should be boiling in a minute. I'm gonna clean this mess up and I'll bring you back and we're gonna put these in. We're gonna do cartwheels because I don't want to be bothered with the rest of the stuff. We'll put this in there and I might put some cassava in there. Let's get to it. All right, I went in the freezer and I got some cassava, also known as yuca. I'm gonna put that in there. Ooh, because that is frozen. That needs to be first. I think I'll put 3 in there. Boil that down. And then we'll move on. I'm gonna cover this up and we'll get these done in a minute. Now, this is a taro root. These are the things that I grow out in the yard. You know those big old leaf elephant ears? This is where it comes from. This is a taro. This one I did not sprout, so we're gonna throw it in the pot too. Jamaicans or West Indians or people from countries like that, they use whatever they have. That is why I admire them. I do. They don't waste a lot. Food is hard to come by, just like it's becoming here in the United States. It's hard to come by. You need to appreciate the things that God has given you and use it. So, take this off. I love taro. Taro is so good. So, some people think that taro should be purple. There are different types. This is a taro. I bought it from the supermarket, okay? I've seen taro before. I was raised on taro. And yam. This is a part of the yam family. All just like sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, it's not really a potato. It's a yam. We have yellow yams. We have all kinds of different yams. But this one, it's got a little bit of pink on it. But this is the taro root. So I'm going to wash it off. I'm going to put it in the pot with the rest of the stuff. And into the pot it goes. Bam. All right. My junk pile is getting longer, bigger. So I have some. I'm going to say green banana. It's not green banana. It's plantain. But do I want to fry this? Is it soft enough? Because when a plantain turns yellow, it becomes sweet. I do not like green plantain unless it's like that boiled. I don't like it fried. I don't like dried up green plantain. It's just not the way I was raised. We like them when they get sweet, and they only get sweet when they turn yellow. So sometimes these aren't sweet, and I get irritated. I could tell that this one probably isn't sweet because it's not soft enough. We wait till it's almost rotten, and then we go ahead and put it in the pot and fry it. Let's go over here and check our stuff. It's boiling. And we're gonna put our cartwheel. We're gonna make a cartwheel dumpling and put it in the pot also. All right, let me turn this thing around so I don't hurt myself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch off the size that I want, and I'm gonna pinch around it. Right? No big deal. Right? You don't have to make it perfect. Just pinch it in the center so that the center cooks. Put it in the pot. Make sure your water is boiling before you do that. Pinch it in the center. We don't want no big old hefty horsified dumpling. Unless you like them that way. I mean, dumpling is what we use because a lot of people don't have a lot of money. They use a lot of vegetables and they use a little bit of meat, and then they use this to fill everybody up. So you can feed 1 million people with this. 1 million. Get it done because everything is cooking. Roll it up. Pinch it out. They're going to start floating, by the way. Put it in the pot. Woo! Roll it up. Pinch it out. We need to get them cooked. Roll it out. My pot is not big enough, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Woo! All right, Jamaica. Be careful. Don't be plopping, fizzing, because you're going to burn yourself up. It ain't going to be no old water relief it is. It's going to be, oh my God, I got to go to ER. Into the pot. Time to wash. These are going to call cook. You got to let them cook. 20 minutes. They have to cook. That's food right there. That's what they call food. This is food. So, and when I say food, that's what they mean when they have dumpling and they have banana and they have cassava and they have yam. They call it food. So this is rundown with food. All right. My pot runneth over. So we're gonna fry these. Gonna fry this. What kind of knife do I want? So just chop the top off. Right. These are plantains. Some people think they're bananas. Some people have never seen these before. I've seen these on cooking shows, and poor people did not know how to cook them. And I felt so bad for them because they did the wrong thing. It's so simple. You either boil them or you fry them. I don't think I've ever had them baked, but I'm going to fry mine because that's the way we eat them. But that's my favorite way to eat ripe plantain. Green plantain, I always boil. But some people like Puerto Rico and Panama, they do the green plantain, they fry it the same way. It is not sweet. It tastes starchy to me. I'm so used to it being sweet that it's just, I'm disappointed when I get a fried plantain and it's not sweet. Let's go over here. So I have my frying pan right here. And I have this pot running over on me. The pot's so full. I guess that's a blessing, right? Yes, that's a blessing. Take these dumplings and roll them around. Make sure they get cooked. Even though it's dough, it needs to be cooked. All right, gotta get this frying pan hot. Here's our rundown. I'm gonna wait till I feel the heat. This is how we cut them. Long. Nobody want no little slither of plantain. Cut them long. I'll fix that in a minute. Don't worry, I got this under control. Cut them long. They don't have to be consistent, but they do have to be sizable because, I don't know. I've never seen plantains cut, well, Jamaican. Never seen them cut any other way except this way. If you done tell you off, if you give them a plantain that is this size. But why are you cheating me? Okay, my pan is hot. Let me put a little bit more oil in here. We don't want to burn the plantain. There's sugar on these because they're sweet, so you turn it down a little bit. And we just put them in there and fry them until they're golden brown. No big deal. All right. All right, here we are. Moment of truth, right? Let's see. Oh, man. Look at that dumpling. Airy. That is good. Look at that dumpling, man. Look at the dumpling. It's not a brick. You know, you eat dumplings and they hit the bottom of your stomach like a brick. I don't like that. I gotta chop up my time. Oh, that's good. Garden to table. Grow your own food. Cook your own food. This is Jamaica with Jamaica Life. This is Garden to Table. Rundown. Basically okra rundown. Okra and saltfish rundown. Beautiful! With some dumpling, boiled dumpling. Oh man.